Now, I call upon Anna Marks to introduce our overseas guest.
Thank you. It's a great honor for me to be able to introduce Chuck Kaufman first, and then Dan Mariaschin, and I welcome you to the 25th anniversary AGM of Syd Einfeld unit, and for accepting with such electricity, you know the word, to talk to us this evening, and we're very, very grateful and very honored that you're doing this for us. So, Charles Kaufman is the 32nd president of B'nai B'rith International. Born in Dallas, Texas, Chuck has been a leader in our organization since 1980 at the Lodge District and international level. He's distinguished himself in the international arena by representing B'nai B'rith in delegations at the United Nations and its agencies, and authoring commentaries in the Jerusalem Post, the Jewish Insider, the Allgemeine, and Newsweek, among other publications. Before his election as president in 2018, he chaired the International Center for Human Rights and Public Policy in Texas. He has testified on behalf of anti-BDS legislation, which overwhelmingly passed both houses and was signed into law. More recently, he added his voice to that made the IHRA definition part of a new anti-Semitism law. In 1992, he spearheaded an effort to gather more than 10,000 signatures calling for the freedom of Syrian Jews under the rule of Hafez Assad. B'nai B'rith subsequently worked through its office at the United Nations and with other groups to secure the emigration of thousands of Syrian Jews. In his professional career, Kaufman is currently a senior faculty member in the School of Journalism and Mass Communication at Texas State University. He also consults as a public relations executive and media strategist. The author of 2 books, Kaufman was a former business editor, reporter, and newspaper columnist. Chuck and wife Von were here in person early in his presidency, and we welcome him back to Australia virtually. Welcome back, Chuck. Thank you.
Thank you, Anna.
Thank you, Anna, and it's really a great pleasure to be back with you. It seems like we're in person, so anyway, even though we are virtual. But I have very fond memories of our visit over 2 years ago now. It seems like yesterday. Anyway, I'm pleased to review the history of this terrific milestone, the 25th anniversary of the Einfeld unit. Sidney David Einfeld lived a life of greatness as a Jewish community leader and an Australian politician. As many of you know, he is credited with changing Australia's immigration policy to provide a refuge for Holocaust survivors. And as you know, for his efforts, Australia accepted more refugees per capita than any other country in the world except for Israel. Einfeld earned the honor of having this unit named for him 25 years ago, 1 year after his passing. Since that time, the Einfeld unit has attracted and served as a pipeline of great community leadership. It's no surprise that many of you on this digital call, in this digital room, are or have been leaders of such stellar programs as Courage to Care, the B'nai B'rith retirement villages, both of which I am immensely familiar, and the Bargain Bazaar, which in its history has generated more than $750,000 for various charities. Kudos to Robert Cohn for running the bazaar for 8 years. Of course, Anna Marks, Ivan Kaplan, Andrew Havas, David Samuels, John Lilienfeld, of blessed memory, and currently Robert Erdos, have served you extraordinarily. We particularly remember Brother Lilienfeld for organizing the first Holocaust exhibition in Australia at the Sydney Town Hall in 1981. And Henry Worth has chaired the retirement villages for 20 years. So we at B'nai B'rith International are most grateful to all of you for helping to develop such terrific talent. For 25 years, the Einfeld unit has been called the backbone of B'nai B'rith and built itself through many innovative firsts. The first to have credit card services, the first to have an email newsletter, and the first to link to YouTube. The unit also has exemplified Syd Einfeld through other services by delivering food parcels around Rosh Hashanah and Pesach to people who have little or no family, and providing scholarships for disadvantaged students. It has exhibited great tzedakah for such community groups as the Alzheimer's Association, Canteen, Microsearch Foundation, Point Zero, and the BBANZ Israel Commission. Its penchant for fun and entertaining gatherings has led to fundraising and providing as much food for the mind and soul as it has for the palate. Members are fully engaged in these and other broader B'nai B'rith activities. Yours is a record of excellence, one that new generations should eagerly embrace. The unit also administers a scholarship trust through bequests from the Sir John Monash unit and from Catherine Gluck, who charitably memorialized her brother, Frederick B. Lamberger. In recent years, the scholarship fund has honored a medical student, a primary school student with learning disabilities, and a most talented fine arts student advancing to graduation. It subsidizes a student currently at the University of Sydney at the Mendelbaum House, the only kosher residential college in Sydney. Syd Einfeld came by his name in a most innocent and native way. He was born in Sydney in 1909, 3 weeks after his parents, Rabbi Marcus Einfeld and Deborah Gable, arrived in the city. Thus, the name Sydney. He was a committed Zionist from an early age, and by the time Israel became a state in 1948, he was elected to the board of the Australian Jewish Welfare Society and became its president in 1952 to help with absorption of new arrivals from Europe and elsewhere. His service to the Jewish people translated easily to representing the general community when he was elected to the House of Representatives of the Commonwealth Parliament, only the fourth Jewish leader at the time to hold such office in the country. In 1982, he was inducted as an officer of the Order of Australia. He passed away 26 years ago, and it was only appropriate that B'nai B'rith created a unit of couples and singles to honor his memory. As I've traveled around the world to visit the B'nai B'rith family, I'm genuinely struck how B'nai B'rith members make people from many places part of their own family. We are a family of mitzvah workers, and the Einfeld unit has a history of generating programs for an entire generation to which members can serve for their entire lives, thus emulating the way Sydney and Billy lived their own lives. It is no surprise that 7 Einfeld members are recipients of the prestigious Australian honors for their work in so many community endeavors. It is truly an honor to salute all my brothers and sisters who are blessed to follow in the footsteps of such an esteemed and inspirational leader. As the 32nd president of B'nai B'rith International, representing a full and rich 178-year history, it is truly my honor to commend you on this most wonderful milestone, your 25th anniversary. Congratulations and mazel tov.
Thank you very much, Charles. That was a very inspiring speech. Can we hear from Dan now?
Well, firstly, I'd like to thank Chuck for the most beautiful speech that you gave. I'm quite overcome. I didn't realize we were this wonderful, but I do appreciate your very, very kind and beautiful words and all the research that you put into Syd Einfeld and into our origins. And it is indeed our pleasure to be part of B'nai B'rith. I think all of us here have B'nai B'rith at heart. And it's been a wonderful journey for all of us. I think we've all grown within B'nai B'rith to take on special positions and to become leaders in the community, all due to the mentoring that we've received both here and from overseas. So Chuck, thank you again for those wonderful, wonderful words.
My pleasure.
Very much appreciated. Thank you.